Underdog Podcast. It's your host T. Lee and my co-host Jack Cowden will be live today as usual.
Was pulling up, they acting like they couldn't see me. Now she wanna clean me up like a squeegee. I told her that's on me, baby, like yellow BZ. With the peanut butter tear like a Reese.
He's gonna persevere through all the obstacles. Get it done. That's the underdog.
They don't forget the underdog when they see me. I hit them with the John Cena, they can't see me.
You may overlook this person, but the underdog is the one who's gonna put in the work.
It's over, you know? Because you have to lose to win. Whether you think losing is a big event.
Out of mind. All I'm saying, just be careful who you idolize. I'm picking these scriptures just before the fame. Ain't no cap in my words, I go against the grain.
So I always believed in life. I took so many risks to make this thing happen, you know what I mean?
I'm always working, bro. Like I said, I'm energy driven.
Underdog can put you on your ass. The underdog can put you on game. The underdog can show you something that you didn't know.
Can't go down. All you can do is go up. So are you gonna stay where you at, or are you gonna move up?
Feel the bangers. Feel the bangers.
He said he's nervous. This is his first time doing it.
Cut her ass off because she could act and reread.
Yo, what it do, good people? Welcome to the Underdogs Podcast. It's your host Fleetwood JR, and we're back again with another episode, another one on our DJ Khaled. This is season 6, episode 8, Pop Music Path from Florida Story and Sound, featuring Tallahassee's own Atlanta-based alternative pop singer Kanise. Before we bring her in, though, we got to let you know what's going on. We got to show the talent. This is Kanise. Wouldn't it be nice?
It's not personal. Well, maybe it is, cause I'm feeling these things when I look at you. It feels so true, but I know it won't last. Got baggage from the past, and I'll be damned if you carry all that pain. I'd rather walk away. It's not anything you do, you've been perfect. And you're trying to fix and make it work, but you can't mend what's broken. It's so hard to say no. So maybe I should go. Maybe I should go. Oh, wouldn't it be nice, if I could keep this love for life? But I doubt that. But I doubt that. But at least we have tonight. Oh, wouldn't it be nice?
That's Kanise. Wouldn't it be nice? Make sure y'all head on YouTube to go check out the full video. We ain't gonna waste no time though. We're gonna bring it right in here.
Hello.
What's going on, guys? How you feeling today? Welcome to the Underdogs.
Good. Thanks for having me. How are you today?
I'm doing all right. You know, just having a productive day, having great conversations with great people, you know.
Feel that. Yeah, I'm really excited to be on here. I remember you asking earlier, like, you've been to Tally before, so.
Yeah. Yeah. It was an experience, you know. I was like, my memory is kind of off right there. I need to let that go. But definitely. That's one thing that caught me though when you said like Tallahassee artist. I said, okay. And then I seen somebody I knew actually starred in your video. Shout out to Upman.
Yeah, shout out. That's a cool ass dude, man. He actually met him literally just by sliding in his DMs and asking him to be in that video. And he showed up, stayed all day. Like, yeah, he's real cool.
Nah, that's my boy. Definitely good energy, you know. Like I say though, welcome to the Underdogs Podcast. We appreciate you taking time out your schedule to kick it with us. First and foremost, as we push the importance of knowing ourselves, like who would those closest to Kanise describe her as a person outside the artistry?
Outside of artistry, not gonna lie, I've been described as kind of goofy before. Most definitely, I would say that's a factor that people that like know me. No, like I will walk into a wall every once in a while. Not on no dick, but on
Yeah.
like a mind always moving and going. Don't really like not care what people think, but just kind of march it to the beat of my own drum and things.
Mm.
Yeah, I would definitely say that is a quality. I've been also known to be pretty sharp and blunt with my words and kind
Yeah.
of sailor at the end of the day. So I think those are some things that I've been described as, but like my closest friends would say that.
Yeah. Now I like how you said that marching to your own beat. I say, yeah, I can get with that because that's how I feel like the life. Well, my how we were just saying, I feel like that's how my motion picture is. My movie is like starring me. That's how I'm moving. Like however I feel this should go, it's gonna go that way. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, nah, facts. And as an artist too, it's like it's good to have like feedback, but it's like ultimately you're making the music you love and you want to make.
Very true.
Um, so Kanise, how has this year been treating you thus far? And like what have been some of the highlights?
Man, so I could separate this year in two parts.
Okay.
Like was definitely like a loading period for lack of a better word, like kind of like just waiting because we were planning, me and my band moved in the middle of this year. So the
Mhm.
first year was us just kind of resting. We've been gigging a lot because we gigged a lot around town in Florida. And so it was definitely a period of rest. And then August was when things really turned up. We moved from Tallahassee to Atlanta, Georgia.
To Atlanta, yeah.
Yeah. So from August to now, it's just been a complete 180 change. I've been to jam sessions and jazz clubs and, getting ready to start booking gigs here. We had to lock in a drummer. Shout out Lawrence, who he left in Tallahassee. He's finishing up school. So, broke my little heart. We had to find a new drummer, but we locked in a drummer up here. So it's just been like a big transition period between resting up the first half of this year because we knew what we were about to hit the ground running, and just this 1 month, like this month and a half between August until now, has just been so much change and so much growth. It's been amazing.
Yeah. So talk about that transition to Atlanta. What was that transition like for you? Like, were you already kind of like in between Atlanta and Tally already, or like
I'll
how did
say
that come about?
I'll say yes, but no. Tallahassee can be an oasis because the best kept
Mhm.
secret is like the price of living there is very low. So I made trips to Atlanta when I can, but most of the time it was just like saving up. And just knowing contacts in Atlanta. Most of my networking was like online based or people that I already knew because
Mhm.
everybody who graduate from FAMU want to move to Atlanta next. So it's really, yeah. So I knew a lot of people up here, but mobily, I think I've only visited Atlanta just in the past year. Like I've been there up there a lot, but twice.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say that I was like in between, like transitioning. It was an abrupt transition. So it was from being in
Mhm.
Tallahassee, small college town, FSU,
Mhm.
to then just boom in the middle of Atlanta, in the thick of it. And we're living in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah, like not in a like one of the outskirts where it's like,
Right there. Yep. Peachtree, Dunwoody area, Buckhead, all over there.
yeah,
Yeah.
very.
Mhm.
So it's been a pretty big transition. I've lived in Tallahassee my whole life, but I'm loving it. I'm loving every second of it. I love being out of my comfort zone because it means that growth is ahead. So
Facts. Yeah. It's more like Atlanta needed you, you know what I'm saying? In a sense. It's
I hope
just you had to get there. No, I'm gonna tell you from experience, you definitely, like I say, it's like the next level to it. It's like Tally was there, you reached the ceiling, and now it's like Atlanta where you're in the mix of it's a lot of people. It's a lot of different people from different places. It's not just Atlanta too.
yeah, it
It's-
went like small pond to the ocean. So I'm just,
Yeah.
but it's exciting. Like I said, I
Yeah.
really like it. I've already met pretty cool people up here. I'm just trying to network, get in the scene, see what's going on music
Mhm.
wise. Already been in a short film. That was a lot of fun.
That's
So
what's up.
yeah, just hitting the ground running.
See, you hit me too fast. Usually I try to clap when I hear big stuff like that, big accolades. But I'm gonna say that for later because I know I got another one coming. Um, But yeah, I look at it now as I sat here and I was thinking the other day, I said Atlanta really is like, you know how it's certain people in their cities, you know, they feel like they reach their peak, and it's like they have the qualities as a person and in business and everything, but it's like they need, you know, another spot, you know, to take it to the next level. I feel like everybody that has that type of mentality to work together, to grind, do everything, they end up in Atlanta. Like, you know,
Yeah,
everybody kind of comes together.
yeah, it's really like at this point, like the Hollywood of the South at this point. Not necessarily like without the Hollywood prices. Don't get me wrong, it could be high up here, but it's not like, LA
Mhm.
high yet.
Yeah, LA is crazy.
It's growing fast though, so I wouldn't be surprised if like by another 5 to 10 years it's reached LA prices. But I'm lucky enough to come now, or you can still, find a place that's about 15 or under for a one
Mhm.
bedroom, which still compared to Tallahassee is a lot, but it's livable, it's manageable.
Yeah, nah, fact. I think everywhere got hit with that when all this just spike just kind of hit everywhere, all over. Like yesterday's price or a year ago price ain't the same price no more, and that's like
Nah,
everywhere.
definitely not.
Real talk. So with only a few months left in the year, like what are some lessons you learned that you believe, you know, will help shape 2025 for you?
Number one is definitely to like take advantage of every opportunity and situation that you're in, because you don't know who's who. Like you could meet somebody where it might not look like they're doing much, or you come to their show and there's not a lot of people there, and you don't even realize that there's not a lot of people there because it's an exclusive event and they're an A&R, or something. You just don't know who's who. So
Mhm.
really you got to network with a certain level of respect with everyone. Like I respect people regardless, so that's not hard for me to do. But it has been surprising, just like meeting people that you might think, oh cool, they're up and coming, maybe I can network, and then you find out that they're running big
Mhm.
shows or big time promoters, and they're just they seem chill. Because not to like talk shit or anything, but a lot of times like the people who are talking the most and dropping the most accolades are people that don't have as much going on compared, so you just don't know. You have to like definitely I would say network and give that same level of respect to everyone.
You said a whole lot. I was gonna drop this sound effect, but I said, nah, it ain't time. But yeah, facts. Like, you know, that's why I say your network is your net worth. And I was just saying on the platform I was on, like, don't let the followers and all that and stuff, you know, dictate that a person got this and stuff going on. Is in person. Like I'm still an in person type of person. Like, yeah, we
Yeah,
virtual and everything like that, but the type of vibe that this is me all the way. Like we try to just be ourselves fully, you know, with it and understanding, like you say, you don't know who's who and who do what, you know.
you really
And it's
don't.
really them
Like I've
conversations
been
take you
to
to the next room.
Yeah, I've been to like some jam sessions at a bar with musicians, and then like sing up there and talk to some of the musicians. Network, like chop it up. Can I get your Instagram? Look at their Instagram, and I'm like, they won a Grammy, and now
Mhm.
you got Grammy award winners following you, and it's like my first week up, and so it's just like, oh, you just don't know, because there's so much opportunity here, and there's so many people to meet. You just literally don't know who you're talking to.
Nah, facts. So, let's talk about Tallahassee then, you know, your upbringing, you know, so to be in the capital of Florida too is that, you know what I mean? Like, can you share a little bit about your upbringing, how it influenced the music?
Yeah. So my mom's very musical. I'm technically from Midway, which is like basically just like the little outskirt woodsy area of
Mhm.
Tallahassee. But basically Tallahassee, like went to school in Tallahassee, like I can
Yeah.
stare at Tallahassee from my house type of thing. And so my mom's very musical. She did a lot of music in the past. She was more on the writing and production side.
Right
And so
stuff.
I grew up seeing that. And so like since I was 8, I wanted to do this. And my mom was like, no, you're gonna be my doctor, but no, like you can't grow somebody up around,
Right.
music like that and not expect them to fall in love. So
Right.
um grew up in a musical house with my mom. My dad, he doesn't do music himself. He's not musical, but he likes to play the harmonica, but he loves music. So I grew up listening to like Prince and listening to
Mm.
David Bowie and just like a lot of different instruments to like shape that. And then of course, like, listen to R&B, grew up with like the pop girls, Beyonce, Rihanna, Lady Gaga, Katy Perry. So I try to like, that has influenced me a lot, listening to like the rock greats like Prince and Bowie, and then listening to like the pop girls like Rihanna. And so I try to blend that. I try to blend my vocals and writing skills with the instruments and the musicality of that. Like, that's why one reason I'm just really glad I met my band, because like, they're not just backing musicians, like they're in for the long haul. They moved up here with me. And so growing up in Tallahassee, also like what gave me a love of instruments, because I can't play myself, but growing up seeing the March of 100 at FAMU, like my dad grew up on I grew up on South Side, so the band field was next to our apartment complex. So I grew up going to bed at night hearing the Marching 100. And some, when I was allowed, sometimes I would go and just sit on the, the little porch area and watch them. So I think that really shaped just being around it so much. It was so easy to suck it up like a sponge,
Yeah. So let's chime in on the band too as well. Like, let's talk about how that even came about. Like, from you meeting them, like I say, they sound like they're really close individuals for them to like go from one state to another. Like, how long you guys been working together? How did that just form?
Yeah, so they really are basically a family. So my bass player Aaron, he started the band. It's actually a very crazy way the band started. So I was used to being a solo artist, like, track dates and all that shit. And I was on a lineup where I was the only one up there without a band. But to me, that's nothing. Like,
right.
I was used to it. So, I went up there, did my thing, had a good reaction, watched the other bands. They were awesome. And one of the bands, like I said, my bass player, Aaron, he's the one that started the band. He walked up to me after the show and basically was like, "Hey, like, are you the only one up here without a band?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Like, to me, it wasn't a big thing. And he was like,
right.
"Well, I really liked what you did up there, and I feel like I can contribute," which is, something I really like to hear, because it's definitely a team effort. And so he was like, "Do you want to start a band?" And it's like, I kind of thought halfway he was bullshitting, but I was like, they were dope. So I'm like, yeah, sure. And then next week I was in a group chat, and they've been like my best friends ever since. And so we've been gigging for about, I say, a year. And there's been like a lot of growth, like, getting the paid shows, and they're, in for the long haul. Like, I have them do like little content days where we get somebody to film us like performing and stuff like that. And so, they're in it for the long haul. Like, it is a band. Like, they named the band Kanise, which is funny to me, because I was trying to think of a band name, and they were like, "Look, we'll just do like Sade," because I didn't even know Sade is a band technically.
For real?
Yeah, even though she's the face of it. So that's what they did.
That's hard.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So, are there any like favorite spots or restaurants in your city that you would recommend to somebody who never been there? Like, for the outsiders, never been to Italy?
Yeah, honestly, if you want to see a place that has like fun bands and really cool shows, I think Fire Betty's is a really cool place. Like, I had a lot of fun performing there, and I also just have a lot of fun going there to party, because being a college town, it is a party city.
Facts.
Yeah, I would say Fire Betty's is a really cool place. Believe it or not, especially if you're like a student there, I had some of the biggest shows like at the back of people's houses. Like, you'll have students and they will take their backyard and turn their back porch into a stage, and 1,500 people will show up, and then you get to perform, and they be pretty lit. Like, it's ticket sales to get in and everything. Like, you got little promoters out there. It's really cool.
I can believe that, because the FSU party used to be something like that too. It's just like, how we end up here? Like, it'd be somebody's house. And
and it's like, it's crazy, because it's like you take that house party, but they've incorporated hiring live music, like rappers and singers and bands. And it's just really cool to see, because it's like, damn, this is almost like a venue. Yeah.
Nah, fact. So, do you recall any specific moment where you realized music was your calling? Like, before the band, like when did, early on, like, and also too, I want to touch on something else with the singing, but like, when did you realize like this was for you?
When I realized Destiny's Child's made money doing something that I probably would have paid to do when I was little. I was like, wait, they're making like they're getting rich off of this? Like that's when I was like, so I can do something like this and get paid for it one day. My mom was like, yeah, yes, you can. And I'm like, oh, I can't imagine myself doing anything else now. And
Yeah.
it's like I got that bug. I was in a play when I was 8, loved it. And that's when I realized, like, oh, this is something that I could literally see myself doing for the rest of my life. And it's just something that stuck with me. And I hadn't been able to shake it off. So I said, look, if this is something where I can't see myself, don't let it be a dream, let it be reality and go for it. Like your life depends on it. So that's been me with this journey so far.
Facts, and it's just like knowing that you're in control of your identity. So it's like you create your identity based off the habits that you do, that you build. Small habits building the bigger outcomes and situations.
Yeah.
So, so did you have any vocal lessons when you were starting out, or did you just develop it naturally?
So like I said, my mom has been in writing and production. So basically for a long time, she was my vocal lessons. Like I really owe a lot of that to her because, she's literally worked with people in the studio professionally. So she's the one that got me. Of course, eventually she did put me in some vocal lessons, which
Yeah.
I was in, in increments. Like I think I was with one for a couple months and then I was with another for a year, but most of it came from my mom. Like I owe a lot of that to her. Like just things that I know, singing from the diaphragm, falsetto, all of that. I just owe to my mama.
Oh yeah, shout out to moms though, for real.
Yeah.
That's a big inspiration right there. So what were some of the memorable moments from the early days in your career that you can remember? Like something that you always gonna remember looking back on your journey.
Something that I'm always going to remember and something that since we still live in the same town, I hope we'll circle back around one day is when I was 15 and like recorded my first song.
Type stuff.
Apparently like T-Pain heard it and was like,
Mm.
who is that? Like she's good. She need to keep going. And like I said, he lives in Atlanta. So that's something like him being a Tally native and me always looking up and being one of my heroes. Like, oh, somebody from Tallahassee can blow up and be that big. Cause we just didn't see a lot of that in Tally.
T-Pain was big too. And
Yeah.
can really sing without the
Yeah. Still
auto-tune.
a household name. Like,
Yeah.
and so
Hey,
it's like, I hope that's something that comes full circle one day where I can say, hey, like, I'm from Tally too. Let's work.
it's coming. Facts. I see the work. Cause look, hey, could these yeah. Like I say, just for me, like go to it, like go to your platform and hear a couple seconds. Like I do music as well too. So it's like I listen to music different than the average person to hear it. But it's like I can realize when okay, they really passionate about this, or they've been really in their bag. Like I can see the drive, the hunger, and the passion behind this. That's what really was like too. Like I like doing episodes with other artists because it'd be like, hey, let me dive into your mind as an artist because I'm soaking up game as well too on my end. It's just like
Yeah.
I'm silently sponging it up. For real. So can you name 3 influential artists, who have shaped your music and explain why they are significant to you?
Oh yeah.
Only 3 though.
Yeah. So number one, I'll definitely say is Prince because like
Okay.
the man can do everything. He produced his own music, he played guitar, he had his own vocals, he did his own backgrounds, or he had such like control over what he did and his lyricism. Like if I can write a song that's as good as When Doves Cry, I Can Die Happy. Like that,
Mm.
like he's just really the GOAT in my opinion in a lot of things. Another artist, I would say Janelle Monáe. Her album Dirty Computer is one of my favorite albums of all time. Like she's just so like creative and like the way that, like I said earlier, I like march to the beat of my own drum, and like I just really fuck with her vision and what she does like musically. A third one, because there's so many, like
Yeah, this the last one.
I'm gonna say this not only because I just grew up with her, but also because like I love her style and the fact that she has been able to switch it up and just have her own unique and distinct look for so long, and even switch up, even with like whatever she's switched up in doing, she's successful in, is definitely Rihanna.
Mm,
Like just everything from like, she did the pop thing for years, got out still on top of the game, and then launched a successful makeup line and became a billionaire with quality makeup products. Like I just love that work ethic that she has, and her fashion sense is amazing.
nah, facts, big facts. And I feel like just the versatility as an artist too, because it's like you say, you got wiggle room to move around, and like, oh, you're just this type of sound, you're in this lane, that's as far as you can go with it.
Yeah,
It's like if you really like a creative, it's like you're trying to create all different type of things.
exactly.
Um, but also too, what led you on your route to like with the alternative pop, sound, which like is amazing because when I heard the record, even the record I just played, for everybody, it gives the movie type feel, like placement wise, it gives a movie
Nice.
like you can hear that in a movie. Like, and that's what you would want, something to have, like you want to drop the music, but you also want the music to be used in any type of form fashion. Like if this can go to movies, of course, performance wise, release, like how could they utilize this song?
Definitely. And that's something I would love. Like, if I could see one of my songs like in a movie one day, that would be so cool. But yeah, the way I made my sound is like, honestly, it wasn't on purpose. It was just I made what feels good. I
Mm,
wrote an album during COVID, met a
that's
producer
dope.
named Ure, and he's the one that made that song that you heard. And so just like I said, I've always been a pop girly. I've always loved like the Rihanna, Katy Perry type. And
Mhm.
so just blending that in with kind of like, almost like an alternative, kind of like a Rihanna meets SZA type of thing,
Mm,
is just something that I gravitate to the most. And so like I just think that's how the sound happened. Like it wasn't anything in particular. I just love mixing sounds, and I guess that's where the alternative part comes from, because just trying not to be like limited by things like
right.
genre and different things like that. Like, if I find a beat that I like and it might have a country twang to it, I'm gonna mix it in to make it my own way. And because I come from the South, and Tallahassee and Midway is very country, so it's like I just always want to put my roots into things.
Nah, fact. So like just the alternative labeling is like this can go any way, but it's still gonna be
Exactly.
pop, but it's gonna be a tag. I'm gonna grab something from over here, over there, and it's gonna mesh into what it becomes.
Yeah. And oh boy, it's definitely like that even more with the band, because
Mm,
like they all have like jazz backgrounds, so they're incorporating like some shit that might sound like it could be in the same playlist as Amy Winehouse. So I'm so excited
yeah.
that I'm like making music with them. We just started making music. None of it's out or anything like that, but we just started making music up here in Atlanta, and I'm so excited about it.
Nah, that's dope. So what is your process for composing new music? Like
It's
how do you go
chaotic.
about it? Yeah.
It's chaotic.
So let's talk about the last one you composed then. What was the process with that, and how did it come about?
So I wrote it during COVID. I wrote it in
Mhm.
2020. And I
Well,
had
yeah,
a lot
that's
of,
a chaotic time. Yeah.
yeah, I had a lot of time on my hands, and was able to just sit and be with beats and be with my thoughts, and looked up some YouTube beats and wrote that song to that. So it had a completely different vibe. And then like a little while later, like I said, I met my producer Wyatt Ure, and he sent me that beat to see could I write something to it.
Mhm.
And I just started humming the song that I already had to it. It had a completely different vibe. Like it was a happier song when I
Mhm.
wrote it. And so I took it and was like, I feel like this could blend well, because it's like when I write, things are definitely not set in stone. I can hear something that just might change, like I said, the whole sound and vibe to it. So I ended up taking that song and reworking it to that, which is way more structured, because sometimes I'll just Frankenstein some shit together. I'll write
Yeah.
5 different lines, hear 4 different melodies, and then stitch it all together to make a song. But yeah, wouldn't it be nice? Was a pretty easy process, because it was like already a song that I had written, and then I put it to that beat, recorded a demo. He liked it, and then we went to Goldie Sound Productions. It's like a bomb ass studio in Tally, and I recorded it there, and that was that.
Nah, for real. Cause like I like how you said, like, you know, sometimes the process can be all over the place, but it sounded like that beat was for that. Like that was
Yeah.
the beat. That was what the lyrics was waiting on. Like that's what it was just waiting on that moment for that beat, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Nah, facts. So how does music make you feel like, and what does it mean to you personally from your perspective, from your
So
experience?
I've not always had the best social skills. So music has always helped me articulate how I'm feeling about the world. Because when people don't know me very well, I can be kind of quiet. Like I know I said I can be
Mhm.
goofy and blunt and stuff, but that's what people that, once I get to know them. And it's like growing up, I was very to myself. I didn't have a whole lot of friends. I was quiet. Music helped me articulate a lot of the things that I was feeling inside. It was a lot of therapy for me.
Mm.
So yeah, I would say to this day, music helps me just like shape my view of the world and what I want to say.
I like how you said that because you said one thing. I mentioned the same as well. Music is like a therapy. It's like you're expressing yourself without even putting that much thought into what you know, you just freely just letting it go, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And enjoying it at the same time though too, because it's not like you frustrated writing stuff and just mad, you know, being a mad scientist.
Yeah.
It's just more like you sitting back and there's no effort, like, you know, just let it flow, not
Mm-hmm.
forcing it. Uh, can you describe your experience collaborating with other musical talents and also performing with your live band?
Yeah. So first with like the musical talent part, there is somebody I want to single out.
Okay.
Um he's a rapper. He's rapped on a couple of my songs. His name's Facey. And when I say like I will die on this hill, he's one of the best talented rappers, famous or not, that I have ever met. Like put that dude in a rap battle with anybody and
Yeah.
he's smoking them. And I really put that like on a lot. Like that's a bold statement. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, think of like some big people. Facey got him. He right up there with them. And working with him has been like a very great experience. It's very fun when you go in with a particular song, finish that song, and then you guys randomly hear another beat that your producer made. And I was like, oh, let's hop on that one too. And ended up making 2 songs in the same night. Like it was just a very easy process. He's just the way that his mind works and flows, like he makes collaborating very fun.
Yeah.
Uh, Another artist, her name's Madam Dixie. She's just really bomb rapper. Like think like she can spit like on some JT type. And we've
Mhm.
done a song together. Like she featured on one of my songs called Groupie, and just her work ethic, everything from the clothes to the hair to the lyricism, like it was just she's a very inspiring person to be around, and just very sweet and humble and cool person just to be around in general.
Yeah.
So I would say with collaborating, like I've been very lucky and blessed in those experiences, to meet people like that in Tallahassee. Like shout out Tallahassee. There's a lot of untapped talent there because the
Mhm.
scene's more underground, but they're doing a lot of good shit there. Like I gotta plug my city in. It's a really cool place to see like just
Nah, facts.
music that hasn't, popped off yet.
Facts. Nah, shout out to Florida though in general. You feel me? I feel like
Yeah,
every city in Florida is just popping. You feel me? I'm from
honestly.
Orlando, so it's like, but I've witnessed, you know, in Tally what you know, you got collaborations of everybody from Florida up there too, just about, you know.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's like that.
And working with
So
my band, like
mhm.
I mean this in like the best way possible. They made me question myself as an artist. And what I mean is I saw like the way like I didn't know jack shit about music theory and counting in four and things like that. And
Yeah.
so I'm in there and they're talking about, what key is this in? Are we doing it in two and four? And I'm like, let me step my shit up. Like let me learn some music theory and get my shit together. So they have pushed me as an artist to the point where like I'm very proud of the work I'm making. I'm very proud of the growth that I've had and that they've allowed me to have with them as a band, because like these dudes are mad talented. Like, shout out to all the dudes that have ever been in my band, because it's fluctuated. And I've been lucky enough to like keep good relationships with everybody that's passed through the band. Like, I had a drummer, Walker, he was dope. Rudy, he was dope. My drummer Lawrence is amazing. That's the one that's still in Tally. He's finishing up at FSU. We just got a current drummer up here, Javon. Dude is dope as hell. The core has definitely been Aaron and Sammy. Aaron, my bass player, and Sammy, my keyboard player, Sammy Hansen. They're just really good musicians, and that has pushed me to become a better vocalist and also like learn that language. So
yeah, it's a language for real.
Yeah. And then
Yeah,
on top of that, like outside of that, they've just been my closest friends. Like, I've definitely like found a tribe with these guys.
nah, that's what's up. And like you say, like when person plays instruments, like I probably did it like for 2 years when I was like in middle school.
What you
But
play?
I played the trumpet, no cap.
Nice.
So one thing I learned though, I wasn't I was kind of I was dibbling and dabbling in music and stuff a little bit, just learning, like just picked it up and go. Like I had an older relative that influenced me and stuff with it. So I said I could do that too. Just like how you say when you see Beyonce, like I could do that too. And just it was one of them moments. So I just picked it up and go. But with band, it makes me hear music on a different level though. Like you say, with the notes, the keys, I can know when this transition gonna happen. I don't even have to hear the beat. I just feel it like, oh, this the change right here. This where the chorus go. This where the
There's
verse go.
nothing like it.
Yeah. Nah, it's everything. But yeah, when you got them in your corner, yeah, they gonna get you right. Like that just because it just prepares you more as advanced as an artist when you're around it. Cause like you say, you can be in sync so much with the music or what's going on. Like,
yeah, I'm very blessed to have that, man. It's great.
So how do you prepare for stage performances, and do you remember your very first performance and how was it?
Yeah, it's funny because the first part, what you were saying, prepare for performances. I do vocal warm-ups. We rehearse weekly.
Yeah.
And so just depending on the type of show, because if it's a corporate, we're doing covers, so we'll have a set list for that. If it's a show to like boost ourselves and get exposure, we're doing originals, so things like that. But yeah, for preparation, we rehearse weekly, so by the time and not weekly like because we have a show coming up, but just to like stay on top of our shit, we just rehearse weekly. And then I do the vocal warm-ups. I try to keep my throat in the best shape as possible, like drinking throat coat tea, using oil of oregano, like different herbs, and even like what I eat. Like if I know that I'm about to like perform, I'm not eating spicy food, I'm not eating a lot of fried food. Like I'm really trying to like take care of my shit better. So that's what I definitely do in preparation, because I get sick easily.
Yeah.
Which I hate. And nothing is worse than going up there and like knowing that you gotta hit some notes that you just can't hit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I try to like just keep that as well as possible. Like I said, the vocal warm-ups, just doing things to strengthen that. What was the other part of the question? I'm sorry.
Nah, I was just about to say, like your first performance, like, do you remember that? What it was like?
Yeah. So my crazy ass came out with my first song. It was called Wish You Well, and I decided to go up to an amateur Apollo night in Atlanta at Apache Cafe.
Oh, Apache?
Yeah.
I've been there. Dang, what year this was?
Oh, this is like 2017, 2018.
That's crazy. I was active because I used to be at Apache doing like open mics, performing like different songs.
And my mentality, because they were booing people off the stage.
Yeah, they was like that. That's crazy. That may be if you went the same night I probably went, it's probably because I used to be in there for real.
Yeah.
Because they had it was like a little poetry type vibe when you go on there, like everybody sitting at the tables, the stage right there.
Yeah.
And what's her name? I can't call it, old girl. I can't remember, but that might be it though, because they used to have like, I remember when rappers used to come out there, and I'd be like, bro, they dead ass serious with this. Like it'd be like 20 people. Bro. Then you have, because I'm from Florida, so yeah, Florida artists go up. I'm like, dude, I'm like, because I was like, I ain't gonna knock it. I'm like, you say it's Apollo. But I'm like, I'm hearing some 2006 Laffy Taffy type vibes. I'm like, bro, it's 2017. Like
Yeah.
they was being booed.
And I'm like 23, and so my mentality was like, I don't want to be a person that's like delusional about that shit. Cause you
Yeah,
have friends, your friends are gonna hype you up, you're looking
yeah,
for support. But I was like,
yeah,
these niggas don't know me. So
yeah.
if I'm gonna find out, like, is my
Go
stuff
do your
actually
thing.
good?
Yeah, but it's necessary though. It's
Yeah,
necessary. So
exactly. And so I went up there and had a good reaction. Like, it was nice. I was up there scared, standing in one place, but hey, they like the song. And so since then I was like, okay, cool. I got something I can work with. Because even if I had gotten booed, I just would have taken it as constructive criticism. Like, you can't not do what you want to do because of things like that. But I did want to see, like, is this something that
yeah,
if I go somewhere and nobody knows who I am and can just stand off original song alone, like,
yeah.
is it gonna do something? And so that was my first performance. I
That's
drove up.
crazy. That's
Yep, made a
crazy.
overnight trip, stayed at my cousin's house,
Yeah.
and yeah.
Now that's crazy because I was like 2017. You said the day, so I'm like, yeah, I was heavy in the streets, like doing a lot of open mics, and that was one of them spots for real that was gonna do it.
Well,
That's
shit, we might have
crazy.
crossed paths.
That's why I say it's like it's possible. That's why I was like something clicking, but I didn't click it together. When you said Apache, I'm like, it's possible.
Yeah. What part of Florida are you
Um,
from?
Orlando.
Oh, nice. I love Orlando. I
Yeah,
like the music scene there a lot. Like, you ever
yeah.
been to Grumpy's?
Grumpy's, yeah.
Yeah, that was my first Orlando show, and it was a lot of
Type
fun.
stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Orlando popping now. They trying to turn into LA low key on me. They
Oh
been
shit.
because I came to Atlanta in 2015. So yeah, they been low key transitioning like LA by the moves they making and stuff they building. It's
Okay.
definitely they definitely doing it. So what keeps you motivated to continue making music? I know you expressed earlier though, building a network and the connections and stuff like that, but like internally, like what keeps you drive, like the drive? Because it's almost like you just do it without even thinking about it.
So, like, two things, because like burnout is really real.
Yeah.
Number one, I'm big on manifesting. So it's like every single time and everything that I do and step that I make, I see the end goal like it's in front of me, like it's gonna
Hmm.
happen next week. And you just never know. Like, it could, this industry is very fickle. I could go viral tomorrow on a old song. You just never know.
Yeah.
And so looking at that end goal, if I get tired or I'm just over it or dealing with just like the politics part, that's the part that keeps me motivated and going. And then just in music in general, I just can't help it. Like,
Yeah.
even if I never get big or nobody ever sees it, it's just a part of who I am. I have to do it. I've tried to stop it, that I literally got
Nah,
depressed.
you
So
can't
it's
break
just
up
something
with
I
it.
have to do.
You can't break up with it at all. It don't matter.
It's
It
a
don't
part of
matter if
me.
you go and like you can go on a spell for 6 months, and then all of a sudden you hear that one beat or something. It just you pick the bike back. You pick the bike back up and start pedaling again, like you
Yep,
didn't put the bike down. Like it's you basically created our identity. Like when it's like who is Kanise or they hear Kanise, she do music or she sing or it's just a part of you automatically.
yeah. It's who
And
you are. My mom always said that she thought artist isn't what you do, it's who you are. And that's just so true to me.
yeah, nah, definitely. And I almost think like when you creating, it's like magic in the sense. Like
It very much.
you creating a new potion because it's like the tone of your voice or how you do this, and when this song release, how it make people feel. Like that's the effect of your magic.
Exactly.
For real. So out of your catalog, which songs are the most meaningful to you? And
Woo! That's hard. That's so
what do you hope
hard.
what messages do you could try to convey to people that's listening? And then I'm gonna
So
only let you pick. I'm gonna let you pick four. I ain't gonna even say three. I'm gonna give you an extra one
I
out of your
I
catalog.
appreciate it. So yeah, that's a very interesting. So okay, so number one, I'll say one that always will have a place in my heart is the first song I ever wrote called "Wish You Well."
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just my first song. It's like your firstborn. You're always gonna remember that. So
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, "Wish You Well" I wrote. People think it's a breakup song, but it was actually about me quitting a job.
Yeah. Type stuff.
Yeah, so that's also just like that's the song that Upton's in, by the way. Like, yeah, that's Wish You
Yeah.
Well.
I
And it
seen
was
it. I
just
know. I was like, this look familiar. Like I seen it posted before.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so that one definitely will always have a place in my heart. There's a song also, it's the second song I ever put out and wrote actually called Go to Work. It's just a very fun ass song. It's about trying to kick someone out after a hookup.
Mm-hmm.
It's just very fun and very campy. I had a great time making it, and that's where I like formed a lot of like lifelong music relationships. Like I met my best friend because she's also a singer. Her name's Clara T. She was an extra in the video, like showed up to show support. I met the guys that are basically gonna film probably for the rest of my life every single music video I've ever done. They're so great. Matt especially and Raphael. They have a company called Dopamine, and I started with them when they were like 19. And so Go to Work will always have a special place in my heart. Oh, it's hard. I would say definitely. I have a song called Cabernet Sauvignon. It was like one of the first songs I made on the current album that'll be coming out. Also just love the visuals. Like for real, honestly, like when what I'm trying to express, I don't think I have a particular message. Like I said, it's my way I articulate how I feel to the world, and then whatever
Yeah.
messages comes out of it is what
Whatever
people
they
get.
get from it. So you
Yeah,
almost like art, because everybody got their own perspective of
exactly.
like one person could just see a splatter of green paint and one other person could see a dinosaur. Another person could see
Exactly.
something else. Like, yeah, nah, fast. I feel that.
Yeah. And for a fourth song, ooh, a fourth song that's out, I would definitely say probably Wouldn't It Be Nice? Wouldn't it be nice? It
Yeah,
just sounds good.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's movie type vibes. I told you, like that sound like a
yeah.
placement. Yeah.
Yeah, it was me writing through self-sabotage in my feelings type shit, saying let me cut this man off before he hurts me type of thing. And
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, it just is very much like a slice of life of how I used to be in that point in my life.
Yeah.
And on top of that, like I said, the song just sounds really good. Like, not to compare my music to someone else, but it's like the beat always gave me the weekend vibes. And
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
No,
and that's an
fact.
artist that I admire a whole lot. So like,
Yeah, the weekend vibe.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, facts. So, what do you envision for yourself in your music career in the future? Like, what do you manifest for Kanise? What do you see? Like,
I definitely manifest number one, an EP with me and my band. Like I want a band EP. Which is not just a manifestation, but a reality. We literally just wrote a song yesterday. I'm just so
mm-hmm,
excited about. Um, I would like to basically get my music to a point where, because even if I don't become the biggest artist in the world, I would love to just have a platform where I can make enough money to wake up and all I have to worry about is making music. Like, fuck the day job, fuck the like, if I can wake up and music is my job, making music, I'm, supporting myself. If I have a family one day, supporting my family off of music,
mm-hmm.
like wake up and my office is the studio, then
Facts.
I've created the dream. I definitely would like to do that. I would love to also like be like booked headliner one day for a big festival. I just feel like that would be very, very fun.
Yeah,
Like,
that'd be hard for real. Opening,
yeah,
like, yeah, that'd be hard.
because
Like
performing
when
right
they act.
now, it's funny. I used to not like performing that much. I used to like the songwriting aspect of things, but it's like, especially since getting the band, performing is so much fun. So I would love performing. Like, we bring a lot of hype with our shit, and so I would love to like do that in front of a big audience because Tallahassee audiences are lit. Them students are looking to have a good time, and so you really had to
Mm-hmm.
bring it. And it was just a rush of adrenaline that I would definitely love to replicate up here.
Nah, I'm knowing for sure. He said them college crowd, and then you got a constant crowd changing all the time too. That's the good thing about
That
it.
and that is such a plus. that was such a plus being in a college town, because like you met people from New York, you met people from Miami that are coming in, you know, just to go to school.
Mhm.
And so when they leave and they're still listening to your music, that's how it's like spread to other places.
Or make yourself memorable too, because like you say, when you hit that major level, oh, I remember her. Like they
Yeah.
already familiar with it, you know, they already been tapped in. So I'm gonna say, so what advice would you give to aspiring female singers looking to break into the music industry?
Stay true to yourself, and if you know, like, of course, be open to like take advice and to grow as an artist. But if you know you have something, there's a lot of, and not to make it like about sexism, but I've gotten in situations where there's a lot of men who want to come in and like control and tell me what to do and say. And it's like, if you put that faith in the wrong person, you can find yourself stagnant. You can find yourself not liking what you do. You can find yourself just in a lot of situations. So it's like, if you have that core in you where you know how you want your music to sound, you know how you want to look, like what you want to do, stick with that and put your foot down, because it can be very hard, because especially like sometimes being the only girl in the room, it can be easy to start thinking like, well, maybe I don't know what I'm doing, and maybe they do. But every single time I've like gone with my gut and aligned myself with people that have the same vision,
Yeah,
it's
facts.
like worked out. Like one thing I've learned, especially like, being a girl in the industry, is like one key to building a good team is to like find people who are really talented, that align with what you want to do, and then let them do what they want to do. And when they let you do what you want to do, like, that's how stuff starts growing and popping off.
Nah, facts. Like, cause it's like we both can win out this situation. You get what you want, I get what I want. In the process, not just you get everything you want and I don't get nothing back from it. Like that's crazy.
Exactly.
Crazy work. But I gotta say, it came back to me too, because I had a moment. You almost got me. But with your mom's, like being that she was already involved with the music and everything, like, did you learn some stuff from the business side of it from her
Literally
too?
everything I learned from my mom. Like, my mom is the reason why I feel like I've had such an upper hand in like building that team. And like what I just told you is because she one thing she told me, like, just straight up, when I was a teenager, she said the one thing you don't want to be is a dumb artist. And what a dumb artist means is an artist that just lets people do stuff, and then you're wondering, where's my money at, because your accountant's stealing it. Or, why is this not lining up with this, because your manager's putting in stuff that compromises your integrity or what you want to do or what you want to sing. And so she has definitely been a driving force in like, read them, like, don't read a contract yourself, give it to an entertainment attorney. And yeah, it may be $200, but so is that trip you're about to take that $200, and if it's worth it to you, give it to an entertainment attorney to read this contract, so you're not getting fucked. Not literally, but you know what I mean, like business wise.
You gonna be getting hit. You gonna be getting hit for real, business wise. Physically, you gonna be
Yeah.
feeling
And so,
drained.
yeah, at the end of the day, so she's been like very much a driving force in like me having that upper hand, to the point where I've been able to like talk to other artists and tell them things that, and I never look at it like, oh, this artist don't know how to do that, because none of us know how to do that. I just got lucky enough and blessed enough to be born into somebody who already knew how to do that. And
Yeah,
so it's like when I see other artists doing something, I'm like, hey man, like,
pump the
even if it's
brake.
like a small time attorney that don't do entertainment, let somebody that knows law read your contract.
Read
Like,
that verbiage, cause man, they might word something in there, and you might get happy from seeing that word, and that word don't mean what you think it means.
even if it's your like homie that's going to law school, just
Man,
somebody that knows the verbiage,
I,
just
I
think like,
I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, if it's my partner, if my partner ain't involved with the business, yeah, my partner with the business, I gotta make sure somebody that don't know me reading this for real. Cause boy, what if he got something in the contract that benefit him and he just do
exactly. And that's another thing. It's like having the right people by your side that you understand that, because don't get me wrong, like, this is a business. Like, even my
yeah.
band, who's basically like my family, they're here because they feel like my career can go somewhere. So of course it's always like reciprocal, but you always have to make sure that you have people that are in your corner for those type of right reasons, and not like what you just said, you
Yeah,
know?
for real. Maybe like them janky promoters type vibes.
Yeah, I ain't trying to fuck with that.
So, so from when you first started to now, how has your style or approach to music evolved?
I definitely I think that I've become more like, how do I say this? Like, my lyricism has become more complex as time has gone on. And I don't mean like
Mhm.
what I've written, but just like I try to add more melodies now. I try to
How
add
you
more,
do it?
because when I was first writing, I was more focused on, would this be a hit? Would this be a hit in the industry? And now I'm just writing
Mhm.
what I want to write, because I learned that, like, we've seen everything blow up. Anything, especially with the internet age, can be a hit. Like,
Man.
it's a very different time, even from 2017 to now. So it's like I try to be a little bit less monotone with my stuff. I try to add a little bit more jazzy factors in it, just things like that. I'm experimenting a lot more, and it feels so good. It's so fun
I
to
know
do
how you
that now.
feel when you say that. That's crazy because, like, as an artist myself, like evolving, then playing with melodies, cadences, and you start having fun when you like I had a conversation with myself. If I write something so hard and I know it's original, like I sit there and be proud of myself. Like, bro, this shit
Yeah,
right
like I really did
here.
that. Like, you ever listen to a song that you did and you're like, wow, I wrote that?
Yeah, yeah, facts.
Yeah.
Yeah, big facts. Cause that'd be like, I know nobody ain't said this yet. Like, or nobody like, or I just my creative thought of how I put this together, from bar to bar, just switched it up. Like it'd be you say it'd be monotone, and then I like a certain part, it'll just change, a transition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Change the tempo of the song and
Yeah.
like.
I always look at it like the beat. Like I always look at it like I like the beat. The beat do control something, but then when you start being able to like you say, play with the sounds of the flow, now it's like you basically manipulating the beat into what you want it to be, like what you want the song to be. Because the producer don't know, they don't hear. They might now. Some might, if they making it for an industry artist, like you hear tight beats now, like you'll say, oh, so and so tight beat, they're making it because
Yeah.
for they sound, but they don't hear what else somebody else can kind of put on that. Like they don't
And
hear
that's
it
why
until
I
you send them
love
the
like
product.
getting with a producer in person, and like making, like, everything I've ever released has been like a custom beat. Like, I got with the producer myself, and
Yeah,
not on some like pretentious type shit. It's just so fun to make, because it's like when you're with the producer, that's when you're like, hey, let's do this crazy shit right here. Yeah, like I said, my band's helping me produce, and literally like uh my keyboard player Sammy just switched the whole, like, it did a whole key change in the middle of the bridge. So just stuff like that is the reason why I love like custom making. Like, I don't make the beats myself, but like, being there for the process is like so cool, because like I said, you can like switch things up, and that's helped me a lot, like with my evolution as an artist. Like, shout out to every producer I've ever worked with though. Like, they've been so dope.
nah, big facts. Like when you got an in-house producer, like that's the most best feeling ever because y'all start creating the chemistry and that bond just brings so much more out the music. Cause
Yeah,
then they
honestly.
start to know what you want. They already know, like, oh yeah, she gonna like this, or they be wanting to
Yeah.
surprise you with something, and you like, yeah, you was feeling how it was already gonna come, like, yeah.
Yeah.
So, what are some of your favorite memories performing like live, and how much you feel that live performances play in your career?
Ooh, see, this one I wish my band was here with me, but there was this show um last October, like this past October, um called Halloween. And remember, I was telling you, like, first of all, it was already crazy because it was like two football games, FAMU and FSU football games, the same night. So everybody and their mama was outside. And it was on Halloween. And so basically there's this house. I'm sorry if I get the name wrong, but I think it's called 217 Iris. And they were like these college dudes that decided to turn their big ass backyard into a venue. And they threw a Halloween show with this promoter company called TMICFSU. And we were one of the bands. And then there was another band, Mad Woman. And I can't remember the other band. I was lit by the end of the night. But we were the last ones to go on. And sometimes it's like when you're the last to go on a show, people have cleared out. People started to go home. So I'm like, shit. But nah. 1,500 people showed up. So you got this backyard, like the cops came because people were parking in the Aldi's parking lot. Like it was lit. And me and my band performed at that house show in front of 1,500 people. And it was just crazy because I see strangers, because I promote the fuck out of my songs. Like I run ads. I post almost every day when I have a song coming out. And so I saw people in the audience that I don't know singing my songs.
Type stuff.
And so it was just such a cool experience.
Oh, they've been waiting on it. They've been waiting on that moment.
Yeah, and it was Halloween. So we were supposed to dress as Star Wars characters, but my bass player didn't get a Star Wars outfit in time. So he tried to get a Jesus outfit and turn it into a Star Wars outfit. And he just ended up being Jesus. So it was random. You got Star Wars, and he already has long hair and the beard.
You got Jesus in the back. Yeah.
And so he did a bass solo, and everybody was yelling, "Go Jesus!" Like it was just a very fun night.
Nah, that's lit for sure. That sounds like a lit time. 1,500
people. It was very lit. Like I think that's one of my favorite shows to this day.
I know as an artist on the inside, I know you was just levitating. You weren't even standing there no more. Like you was hovering.
An honorable mention also to I try to do this thing every year called Kanise in concert, where I throw my own show. So like I'll rent the venue out and stuff like that, because I wanted to see what, like, I use Tallahassee almost like a testing ground to see, like, can I create a fan base?
Yeah.
And so I threw the show to see, what people show up, because it wasn't like bands or anything like that. It was me and my band, and people showed up. I sold out. So
the
type shit.
I wasn't ready.
Really cool.
I wasn't ready.
Yeah, and it's like it was a whole production. I made it Emerald City based. Everybody had to come in green. Everybody showed up in green. Like it was really cool, and like it was just like a proud moment. I will never not hire a promoter again, but it was a proud moment.
Nah, that's what's up though. Like you just went ahead and just did. Let's try it out. Let's do it. Really, that's all it is. Just do it. Like you say, from the first one, it's like I don't know what to need to do next time, but the mission still happening.
Yeah.
So speaking of these rewarding moments, like what are some of like some of your most like rewarding moments so far, just being an artist through your whole career?
So yeah, definitely like, being with the band, that's been very rewarding. I did this thing in Tallahassee where I was like, what if we did our own XXL type photo shoot with the top like artists in Tallahassee, and I called it Tally versus the World. And it low-key went viral. Like I ended up getting like, I think 18 to 20,000 views on that reel in like a couple of days. So that was really cool. And not just for the viral part, but just like, to create something that many people in the music scene were interested in was really cool. So that was great. I threw an open mic show. That was a lot of fun.
Look at you, you're curating shows. That's really you curating. That's hard.
Yeah, so that was really fun. My first EP that I released, I need to put it back up, but it's called Truth of the Matter. That was a very proud moment for me. I just want to get one of the songs mixed again, and it'll be back up. But yeah, it was called Truth of the Matter, and I put a lot of work into it. And so that's always something I'm going to be proud of, because those were the first 5 songs I ever wrote also. And so, yeah, like, I think those have been like some really good moments for me. Oh, also like just being in music got me a job, because I was pushing myself so much on social media. I ended up with marketing jobs. And so that's how my job is a day job, because they were like, well, if you can push your music this much, come work for this company. And so that's how I ended up like with a marketing career. because I didn't go to college. So, you know, it was either that or end up in fucking food service, and nothing wrong with food service, but that shit is stressful. So, you know, music has added a lot into my life. I've met some of the best people in my life, like dealing with music. Like, so I would say those are some really proud things.
Nah, facts. See, hey, doing what you love, and where's the Kanise, you know, it can happen. You know, like you say, you just did marketing and stuff. Opportunities fall. It's just keep the consistency. You know, that's how I
Yeah.
feel. Like, don't let up on yourself. Really, that's all it is. Like, don't let up on yourself. Like, everything else can let up, but you just don't have to let up on you. You know,
You know.
facts. uh. So, can you describe a moment, you know, like where you felt a deep connection with your audience during a performance? Like when you really was into it, where you tune, like, you know, that feeling when you tune out everything else around you, and it's just like you just feel like you could feel the presence of the audience. It's almost like I say, when you said that performance, like you feel like you probably was hovering and all that, like, you know, you feel that energy though. Like
Yeah.
they there for me. Like
Definitely. I performed this song. It's not out yet, but it's called Peace. And I performed, it was just like an acoustic version of it. And I performed it at an art show. And just the way the audience connected with it, it's like one of the most personal songs I had ever wrote. That was like a really great moment for me to just like feel like it was just felt like it was just me and them in the music. Like it wasn't me trying to win anybody over. It wasn't a follow me on Instagram. It was just me singing this song and them rocking with it. And that was a really great experience.
nah, that's what's up for sure. Like I feel like, you know, like moments, it's the moments, you know, every piece of moment, you know, it always like from when you start out to where you at now, it's like every little piece, it just builds you more as an artist when you connecting with the people, when your music giving these certain reactions. Like I take the small wins and the small wins add up to the big wins for me. Like
Yeah.
I count everything. I ain't looking for just don't get me wrong. I ain't just chasing the big moment where it's like boom, like I need to recognize everything because all this gonna add up to something. And then when that documentary come out later on, when they action about your, you know, everything, and then you can talk about it all, you know, it ain't like oh happened. Like no, I really put in the work for this, you know. So before we get to the bonus questions, you know, because I got a couple to ask you, any shout outs or recognitions you would like to give to those who've been supporting you along your journey?
Oh yeah. One big shout out is definitely AD. He's the founder and head engineer at Goldie Sound Productions. I've known him since I was 15, and he's awesome audio engineer, has mixed all my songs and just been like a big source of like guidance and a mentor and just nurturing that. He's the one that was like him, and shout out to his wife Kim. Like also she's been a big influence too, where they were the ones telling me, look, you need to go to Atlanta, like take this and do it. But he's recorded like almost every song I have, and I don't think I'd be as far or have the quality of music that I have. And also just like the mentorship, like I said, that he gave and still gives. Like he's a good friend to this day. And I really want to shout him out. Like I said, shout out my band again, Aaron and Sammy. Shout out Javon, who's just joined the band as our new drummer in Atlanta. Shout out like Gated Community. That's another awesome studio with Sidon. I've done some songs with him. I have a song with him coming out soon. It's called Jonah Hill of all things.
Jonah Hill. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And so he's just been a very dope presence. I'm just thinking of all the producers I've worked with too, like Freaky Neek. Like Freaky Neek's my first producer that worked with me in AD. And so my first songs and my first EP is all him. So it's like I've gotten a lot of good people. Also like shout out Matt and Raphael. Definitely, they've done, like I said, every music video. I don't even think of ideas for music videos. I let them do their thing. Like
Yeah.
they are so creative, and thank God they moved up to Atlanta also, not with me, but like just in happenstance. So I'm like, oh, thank God I don't have to find new people.
Nah, facts. Cause sometimes when you be finding new people, sometimes you gotta restart that, and it's nothing like when you got that bond already there. Like it's
yeah. Also, one more shout out to Najias. That's my stylist. I can't dress. I like flannel. He's been the one that handles all that when people ask, "Oh, where'd you get that outfit?" I'm like, ask him. Like he does all of that. Like I'm very lucky to work with him. He's very much a visionary when it comes to fashion and just like very creative with that.
No, that's what's up though, for real. So we're gonna get to the bonus questions. I don't got the music yet because this is just a new thing we kind of improvised in, it's a new thing we doing. So it's more like a would you rather. You can only pick one
Okay.
answer. So would you rather collaborate with a legendary artist from the past or a current up and coming talent, and why?
Ooh.
Like I'm saying, like somebody that's in the industry right now, would you want to collaborate with one of the greats?
And you said up and
But they
coming,
can,
like they're not already like.
nah, they already up. Like they like for this time they'll be considered the GOAT, but they
Oh
wouldn't be the
God.
GOAT compared to the GOATs beforehand.
Because
But
it's
they're a
like in
GOAT
my
right now.
head, I'm trying to pick between Prince and The Weeknd, and it's so freaking
Yeah.
hard.
You only got 2 1.
I guess I'm gonna go with the pass because it's like if I could just I don't even have to collaborate. If I could just have dinner with Prince and pick his brain, like the way that he
Yeah.
did things is just even like you saw even the way he dressed. Like that man did what he wanted to do and was good at
Yeah,
it with
he
everything he
did.
did.
And still
Yeah,
had all the women.
they say he could steal your bitch and her blouse.
Man, man, dangerous. And he knew the music business real well. Like
Oh
the
yeah,
man, like you
he's
say, when you talk
literally
about
like
total control, that man was all this stuff. But what's
one of the
crazy?
pioneers. Like that's where the symbol came from because they literally told him because Prince is his birth name, and they literally told him he could not use his birth name doing his music. So that's where the symbol came from. Like he was fighting them like hard.
No, it's crazy though. It's like I was in Minneapolis. I stayed in Minneapolis like for 6 months, and I was
Ooh.
there. I was there when Prince passed away. Like I was there, like in the city. The whole city turned like purple. Like they
Yeah.
did the whole city purple. And I was like, man, I always remember that because I was like, man, I was there when that happened. But yeah, he was on the business side of it, and he was aware around the individual when it comes to like his artistry and making sure that he tried to own everything. But what I don't get is how they always say when they pass away that they did not have nothing like put together. Like
Yeah, all that money, man. But yeah, maybe I don't know. Maybe because he didn't have kids. I don't know.
but then they say the siblings, but I'm like, I'm sure he had somebody he trusted to,
Somebody.
but they just make it seem like they didn't have their affairs in order at all. Like even Michael Jackson and everybody, like it's crazy.
It is.
Yeah, I don't know. But so the next question: would you prefer a critically acclaimed album or a sold out world tour? And what makes that choice significant to you?
A critically acclaimed album.
Yeah, or a sold out world tour.
I'll say a critically acclaimed album because it's like
Yeah.
a sold out world tour would be absolutely amazing. But if it's not something that I would want to stand behind, then it just wouldn't be worth it to me. Like there would have been a time in my life, like if you had asked me 5 years ago, I would have definitely said the tour.
Yeah.
But it's like I've reached a point, I think, where, and not to say I want critical acclaim, but if I want something that touched people the way that, and had that connection with people, then I think that would be like a time well spent.
Yeah, I would go with the album too because that means it's gonna be timeless. Like it's
Like a
one of the
body of
ones.
work that people will remember.
Yeah, facts. Like a sold out tour we can make that happen. But a critically acclaimed album is like, okay, then the tour, let's go on tour. Like
Yeah.
for real. So if you can pick one, like would you choose writing lyrics or composing music as your primary focus and why?
Write lyrics. That's already what I do. I have some great composers around me. So
Mhm.
but one thing that has always touched me are people's lyrics. Like, for example, like Control is one of the probably like the best albums of the decade because of what SZA's saying. Frank Ocean will make you cry, and that's something that I would love to accumulate. Because like I said, I use music to articulate the world. So it's like, I know there's hella talented musicians and producers out there. I want to be the one that can say something on top of that great music.
Nah, I feel that. Nah, yeah, that's definitely though. Cause like you say, the lyrics is everything. That's what everybody hear. I mean, we live in a time now where songs ain't really as long as they used to be either. Like, you're not like how a song, like you say for Prince, for instance, 5-minute songs, 4-minute songs, like you're not getting that
You got
anymore.
2-minute songs when James Brown used to make 11 minutes.
Yeah, and they call him a legend and a GOAT. They're gonna let the 11 minutes go. Like now it's like the attention span of what's going on is like 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
A TikTok reel.
Yeah, basically. And that's what's really like, it kind of like music, kind of like, you know, that kind of latched on with it now too, with the influence. So it's like, all right, that's what's going on. But we could still make them 2-3 minutes work. Fine, you know. But yeah, Kanise, like it was an honor to have you on the show, on the platform, you know.
Thank you for having me. This was great.
And just tell your journey. Like that's very important. You know, we feel like everybody got a story, everybody got something to say, and everybody is somebody, you know. So we just tap along, we tap in where we can get you at, you know, because you know when it start going up, you feel me, the price gonna get higher, the accessibility.
You know,
the accessibility be limited, you know, because it's like, hey, it's business now, you know. But nah, definitely honored to have you on. But before we get you out of here, one thing we ask everybody that come on the platform, last but not least, what does the word underdog mean to you? And when you hear the word underdog?
So to me, the underdog might be the person that you don't immediately see as a winner, or you don't immediately gravitate to, like that's that person. But they have that drive and they have that heart and that they have that thing about them where even if you don't see it at first, you're going to see it because that person is going to do what they need to do to get there, whether that's the hard work, the work ethic. You know, Michael Jordan wasn't, I know you've heard this probably before, Michael Jordan wasn't picked by his coach in high school to join the basketball team. And we all know Michael Jordan's the GOAT. So like, to me, that's what the underdog is. It's the person that they might not necessarily even have like the natural talent at first, but they're going to work hard enough and do what needs to be done to reach that greatness.
Nah, big facts. Y'all heard it here. Season 6, episode 8, Pop Music Path from Florida. Story and sound featuring Tallahassee's own Atlanta-based alternative pop singer. We had the pleasure of speaking with Kanise. We appreciate you. Enjoy the rest of your day, Queen. We'll speak to you later.
I appreciate you.
All right. We out of here.
Gold mouth, rabbit on my teeth, I got carrots. Open up her mouth and she got vocals sound like Janet. Marble on the floors, but the kitchen kinda granite. Lean color perk, you would think it's pomegranate. I see flying saucers finna roll another planet. It will fall in place if it's meant to be organic. I got crazy lingo, you would think I'm speaking Spanish. I'm something like a pie, never leave without the cannon. I'm enlightened, I got stones around my neck. If you pay attention, I teach her how to earn respect. I walk around with a tag like I'm mad at the rail. People do any damn thing for a check. So what if you got signed labels, throw them on the shelf? I don't ask for help, I just go within myself. Hard times I prevail, I bust up out my shell. I let my nuts hang, cause they don't got no curfew. Gold mouth, rabbit on my teeth, I got carrots. Open up her mouth and she got vocals sound like Janet. Marble